There's a lot of firewood in that tree. There's a nice log. It's a very old tree. Ugh.
Hey, I just got stung by a bee.
You kidding me?
No, of course I'm kidding.
Yes, it's an animal.
That's a pop-up?
Yeah, it's a pop-up.
It's throwing awful big chips for a dull chain.
It's a dull chain. You got to push on it. That's a fun saw for fooling around.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, you cannot pull it over unless you put the decomp in. Even then, it's hard. That saw runs good, Bob. That's a good running saw right there.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable recipe for the X-Torqs.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I think,
And it starts easy.
yeah, I don't know why, I don't know how that happened.
But it does.
I think too that's, you know, the 65 is still not broken in, but modified old 72s are a little snottier than that.
Yeah, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, it really is kind of supposed to be. It's still a nicer saw to work with.
But that's the whole point.
And I tell you, the gap in performance so far between that and the 572 is a lot bigger than 60 bucks.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. It's, you know, it's a good, handy, useful saw. But if you really wanted to compare it the way, you know, I mean, that's the way it's priced. But, you know, $60 gap, performance gap.
I wonder why it's so much.
Well, like we said before, they're being aggressive with the prices on that.
Yeah, but what do they do technology-wise to make it that much of a gap? Transfer
Because
ports?
the factory modified the 72.
Yeah.
They put the stuffers in. They changed the transfers. What all these guys are charging $300 for, Husky will do it for 60.
That's bad, Bob. That's funny though.
It's true. You know, the 8-pin, you always got to feed it a little different, but it's running good.
That's got a better bar. Look at that. That tip has got, is that a Windsor bar?
And that's what's left of one.
Yeah. But you know, I think the discussion here should be, and maybe we'll do this after, I'll shut this stupid thing off, is that saw, maybe it's $60 difference, but if you were to take all three of these saws, and like what Matt was saying.
Which one do you want to spend the afternoon with?
Bingo. Is I'd pick that saw you have in your hand before I'd pick the one I just built there to live with.
Well, that's more of a like a project case thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know,
A younger version.
Yeah, if you go at some point, the compression is so high that it makes it difficult to start.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It kind of like X's off one of our conditions for what we're looking for.
Yeah.
After running those, this will feel like it's not even running with the vibration.
But here you go. This is step number one. In order.
You need a stopwatch to tell the difference on the time.
There you go. And I think what you're going to find is you're beginning to learn about that chain.
Yeah. And also, but you don't need any instruments to tell you that the thing has almost no vibration either.
Yeah. So that's the point. That would win the hands down on what do you want to spend the day with.
Yeah.
Here, let me shut this off for a second.
They seem awful close, all of them.
They do. I would say that our two saws over here, both of them, yeah, we got the big chips. That's because they're kind of horsed up chains. That one there is a fresh, new chain.
Yeah.
I think the theme to me is, if you were to pick one of these saws to live with, the inverse of the time is how you'd pick them.
Yeah, but not because of the time.
Not because of the time.
Because of those other factors.
Yep.
The other thing is, keep in mind, we're comparing modified saws to stock one.
That thing's got good punch.
It's there. You know, it's not all about this. Part of this guys that are watching us like to build saws.
Yeah.
So that's a better saw to live with all day, but they're brand new. And if you want one, you got to spend $800. To a lot of guys, taking the garbage and dead saws that we use to build these two 372s, that's part of the hobby too. So guys that enjoy doing that, you know, it's like, well, you know, they'd rather do it themselves. So that's another factor, you know, on a plus side for these.
Yeah. That's a nice saw, Bob.
Yep.
I haven't run mine enough to know, but I'm telling you right now, I'd pick that over those saws. It's not that much farther behind. You don't have to feed that chain. That chain feeds itself nice.
Yeah.
So is that the new?
That's the new C85 Husky
I like
chain.
it better than what I have on the other saws.
I knew I should have brought an extra loop. Well,
Let's
let's relocate to the shack.
All right.
We'll hang out a little bit. It's probably well after 3 by now.
Yeah. Did you get enough cut time?